Aloha, Big Island. My name is Wago. Today's your update. Today's January 28th, and purpose of this channel is to inform Big Island voters and everybody about everything Andrew Yang. If it happened yesterday, it goes and it gets squished into a video, and it comes out for you on this channel. Yang Gang Big Island. If you need to get a hold of us, you can reach us at yanggangbigisland@gmail.com. And if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below. Check out the descriptions to see all the links to all the different videos, all the different periodicals, and the sometimes minute-by-minute update on certain long videos. So what we generally do is we tell people to go to yang2020.com when we're talking to them. So we're doing that here. Go to yang2020.com, get informed on policies. You could buy merch. Merch is a great way to spark a conversation. Almost every day I'm wearing the math hat. Somebody asks me about it or spark up a conversation. 9 times out of 10 they have not heard of Andrew Yang and are not politically involved. So it is interesting to show them what being empowered and feeling great about a candidate and wanting to be involved in democracy looks and feels like, and it's encouraging. And everybody I've talked to takes a card that we got from the Parker brothers and they're like, yes, thank you, and I will check it out. So after the February 3rd primaries in Iowa, I do believe that the wave will have crashed, and then it will carry on to New Hampshire, and then of course to Nevada. Hopefully a little bit of funds will be opened up, so central office could be done maybe on Oahu or one of the here on the Big Island. Get a little bit more organized, have a couple bigger, cooler events, maybe even get Andrew out here. That would be totally awesome. But purpose of this channel, as I said, is to get people informed about Andrew Yang's policies, and as well, get them registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote or you don't know, try checking out vote411.org. Sign up, make sure you're registered as a Democrat to vote for Andrew Yang, and then let's see if we can get you involved in the delegate process if you're interested. Find out where your polling places are and what day they're going to be on. There's only 20 polling places for the whole island chain, so make sure that you're informed and up to date. I'll be doing my best to give all the information I can, district by district, when it gets closer and the information has been passed down. Alrighty, so Yang Daily 10. I wake up kind of early to do these videos, so the Yang Daily 10 today was not up by the time I got up again. So my Yang Daily 10 to shout out to you is to go to yanggangbigisland.com, go to the suggestions, and put an idea for a Yang Daily 10. I'm sure they've got a lot of ideas, but who knows? Maybe one of your ideas could get into it. All right, there are 358 days till the inauguration. There is an Andrew Yang countdown in the description below. If you've got a Facebook page, Twitter page, anything like that, please put it on there. Let's spread the word and watch people count down the days till the inauguration of President Andrew Yang. All right, so Twitter. Council Bluffs canvas launch was today. The pictures are awesome. People, just the smiles and the energy there is great. Trump supporters are throwing out their inauguration cards. Andrew Yang twittered one of the cards that the Trump campaign sends out, these plastic, like credit card looking things saying that you're a Trump supporter and you plan to caucus or inaugurate him, yada yada. Andrews just took a picture of that. That's what that looks like. That's what they do, which is cool, I guess. It's also talking about yard signs. Biggest yard signs have been made thus far. If you check out Twitter, you'll see people put like, thought I put up this small yard sign. It's like 10 by 10 or something. It's great. Yang Month. This is the last week of Yang Month, but I got a feeling that Yang Month is just going to extend into Yang year for the rest of this. We effectively could go to any state and do that. Speaking of that, we need people to go onto the streets in Indiana in 3 main districts and get Andrew Yang on the ballot. If you are listening to this or you know somebody who lives in Indiana that's in District 1, 8, or 4, I believe, 1, 8, or 7, please put the comment question below. Call them, ask them to go hit the streets and get petitions to get him on the ballot. There's not one Democrat there right now. Why? Let's do that. All right. Moving on. Town Hall today at Perry, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Andrew will be there. And then thusly at 12:30 to 1:30 in Story County in their town hall as well. He'll be there doing another stump speech, taking questions, doing photographs, yada, yada. Hopefully the guys, Matt and Zach, Russell and Elena, or, just anybody who's out there covering these things, I know that YJ, today's his last day, so maybe he won't be there, but anybody who's covering that, we will most likely put a video from that tomorrow, just including the Q&A in our update. All right, moving on. Reddit. Indiana signatures. I just talked about it, but it's vitally important to get to Indiana, and it's vitally important to get Andrew on the on the ballot. Dave Chappelle's going to be door knocking, door to door in South Carolina. I think that's amazing. Can you imagine living in South Carolina, opening the door, and Dave Chappelle's there canvassing for Andrew Yang? Yeah. All right. Scott Stanton. If you don't know who Scott is, stop what you're doing and Google it. Now that you're back, he's doing a mock caucus. It's very interesting to see the way that caucuses are run, because most of the people that are involved in the Yang Gang and most of the people, in effect, of that 80%, only 5% of that donate to a political campaign. So having people in that 5% aware of what a caucus is above that percentage rate is pretty interesting. I fall into that. I'll be sharing a video from Heather Just Create, I've just found her videos in the last month or so, but she just dropped what she was doing in California and drove out to do canvassing. And it shows what it's like to do canvassing first time, but some of the things she said is like, I didn't even know what a caucus was because we don't do it in California. I agree with that. I didn't know what it really was either. The long story short, caucuses are just like ranked choice voting, but physically there. So if somebody, let's say a candidate didn't get enough percentage to have their person on the ballot to be voted for, those votes need to go somewhere. So physically, people try and persuade them to come into the Yang Gang or the Buddha Judge. Actually, I don't know if they have a catchy phrase like that. I know the Bernie people, they're calling the Burns. Love Bernie was formed in 2016. I just don't think we could wait another 4 years for UBI. It took 4 years to get M4A on the docket, which is not even talked about not being a thing. And as far as UBI, I don't think that the 80%, the 73% of us going paycheck to paycheck could wait another 4 years of this current administration. But that's only my 2 cents. I digress. Okie dokie. So moving on here, Reddit. It's going to wrap up there. Let's move on into the video section. Video section today, problem solver politics. Cody and Carney got a little long-winded. They were talking about a lot of stuff from movies to video games. But when they did clue it in, they talk about Andrew getting endorsements. One thing they've talked about was like a negative endorsement, but anything's an endorsement. The other electric car companies were complaining about how the cars in Andrew's ads were all Teslas. Interesting, eh? So endorsements are rolling out as we do know from a couple videos ago. If you've been watching the Yang Gang daily updates at ygbi, we talked about John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo, I loved him. He's an amazing actor, and I really didn't know that he was in some newer stuff, which I'm looking forward to checking that out once Andrew Yang's president, and we've got some downtime as the Yang Gang. Other than that, more celebrities are going to be rolling out. February 3rd is only like 6 days away. We're going to get to feel and find out if all the intentions and all the money and all the fundraising, like our new fundraising goal for January 31st of $3 million has come about. I think right now we're sitting at like 13 counties that we've gotten into, infiltrated, and turning that red to blue. People are still on the ground going door to door talking to all voters, independents, Democrats, left, rights, people who don't care about politics, and just explaining stuff about the Andrew Yang campaign. If you don't care about politics and you're on the Big Island and you're watching this, $1,000 per month broken down is $12,000 per year, and per day that's $33. Thusly meaning, if you don't have a car, you could save for one. It'll take a while, but you can. If you have a car, that means you get to put a little bit of gas in it to get to where you're going. That means if you don't either, and you could get a bite to eat, which is something other than fast food that's nicer. $33 plus what you're already making extends what you're able to do. And if you're fiscally responsible, or if you're not, if you just want to do drugs, have fun, good luck. Well, there'll be mental facilities for you to figure your stuff out when you get there. However, if you are fiscally responsible, just that $33 effectively will change everybody's life around you and your life. Hence, more mental stability, being able to process things easier, being nicer and easier. It's going to be so nice. Like, I've been doing phone call banking, and banking right now, which I'd like to just talk about. Phone call banking is the number one priority for anyone in the Yang Gang. If you haven't done that, stop what you're doing, get on Slack at yang2020.com, volunteer, phone bank. All you're going to be doing is having a small script with clicking buttons. It's easier than a video game. Hi, my name's Wago. I'm from Hawaii. I'm calling tonight to ask you if you could go caucus for Andrew Yang February 3rd. Most people will hang up. You might talk to 1 out of 25, 50 people, and they'll say, eh. And you say, what can I get you to do that? And if they give you like a maybe, there's all these things to go through. Maybe, yes, no. And then, the long story short, if somebody's going to caucus and they live there and they're political, they're going to do it anyways. We're not going to twist any arms to do this. Even talking to somebody about Andrew Yang, just so they know that he's going to be there and have a presence, if they don't caucus and they're there and they watch it, they're going to vote for whom they think has the best turn in a democratic an election. And what I've been experiencing with the phone banking is the Republicans are super nice. They're not bad. They're just confined in this momentum of MAGA. And Trump supporters are Trump supporters. That's okay. It's not left or right, it's forward. After the wave comes crashing down, it will become obvious and apparent that the man that wants to give a PowerPoint presentation at the State of the Union is more than capable of having an open-ended debate with somebody who is able to just be on stage and entice people in emotion. It has to be more than just that emotion. It has to actually be backed by policy, and the proof's in the pudding with the Andrew Yang campaign and the followers. Because I think, personally for me, and I don't want to speak for all of Yang Gang, but a lot of this like misunderstanding, animosity, sometimes even hatred for something else, some ideology is just slipping away. I've heard time and time again from these videos and from these posts that the person that you are now because of the Andrew Yang campaign has changed you and others around you to the point where you're able to function better mentally, just having a goal and purpose. And I absolutely agree. So moving on. Heather just created, as I was talking about, she showed her new Yang videos, and a couple months ago she was talking about getting into the Yang, and her first couple videos she just did the same thing we did. How do you get into it? And what I didn't understand about the whole process, and it wasn't all clear to me, and I had so many questions, and what I realized just maybe 4 or 5 days after doing the phone banking and text banking, the people that I'm talking to on Slack are just like me. They're Yang Gang. Everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses. It's not really clear defined because this has never happened before, and the resources and the tools that we're using are being put together almost on the spot to fulfill a necessity of something like getting hundreds of people to fly to Iowa to knock on doors. I would say it's unprecedented, but it happened in I believe in the Carter drive. Alabama Democrats went up to one of the swing states, but the wave of this magnitude in nature before this election is something to be reckoned with. So watch for the wave. At 4 in her video, she does a recap, kind of summing up how this is a new thing. You know, it is awkward and it seems hard, and then it's easy and then it's hard again because you get put on the spot to answer questions you might or might not be ready for. That's why doing the text banking to learn the policies and just chit chat without having face-to-face and or that phone conversation is great, because you've got a script you could go through, you could take your time. When you're phone banking, it's kind of on the spot, but it helps you because you know those policies now. And then when you're doing the persuasive and or if you're just talking to people trying to canvas, you realize that you don't have to sell this. It just naturally comes. Andrew Yang's policies fall into place because if you ask somebody what's important to them, they will tell you. And if you've been following policy in the Yang, you dig his stump speech, you know that stump speech, you know what's applicable, and you know how it fits together, and it gives you goosebumps. So for me, I need to slow my roll and kind of get a little bit more island vibe. I got that mainland energy still when it comes down to this because I speak really fast. So if you're out there, you're hitting the streets and you're out there chit-chatting with people and you're taking your time, we take our dogs and they've got their little cute little collars on them that say Yang Gang. That always just sparks the conversation. So check out her video, watch what it's like to canvas for the first time, and she is in great hands there. Moving on. Shaving with Tully today talks to somebody who is a recipient of a UBI. It is not the Andrew Yang UBI, but it is a UBI of sorts. She talks about her story and her plight and how she was given $1,000 per month and how it changed her life and other people's lives. Simple. Watch this. See how it affects individuals like myself, the bottom 80%, that $33 a day can go a long way. Why is that not a shirt? The Hill. I love The Hill. Crystal Cigar kind of went away while Yang wasn't on the last debate. I don't know if the two had anything to do with each other, but the videos are starting to pop back out. And the reason why I always suggest The Hill to go to for any news source, it feels as if it's unbiased. It's actual journalism. And when you make a connection to the host, you're making a connection with rational thinkers, not just regurgitated scripts of paper that are handed down to all the affiliates. If you doubt this, go back and watch a movie called The Network. Who is in that? Ned Beatty? I don't know. Anywho, so Shaving with Tully, great interview. Watch it. He breaks it down and he puts some interesting points in there as well. The Hill, jump on there. Watch The Hill. Tell me what you think about this. It's not too Andrew Yang related, but Tom Perez, I do believe, is doing the Democratic Party a disservice. I have a question for you, which I'm going to try and be non-biased and non-leading. Why do we have somebody that was involved in the debauchery in 2016 with Bernie still involved with the democratic process? It's like voting in a chicken bucket or out of a ceramic bowl or using corn kernels or any other form of idiotic nature which is antiquated and outdated. We have technology and machinery. People vote for American Idol more than vote in their primaries. Anywho, that's the end of today's segment. I would like everybody to go to vote411 and make sure that you're signed up to vote and make sure that you know where your voting places are. If you look on the website, there you can do that. Also, if you're a Democrat here, you could sign up for the Democratic Party on their website, also in the description. And you can volunteer to do great things. So if you're part of the Yang Gang and you just can't fit in here and you can't fit in there, maybe showing up for the day of the primaries and just helping usher people to where they should be and answering questions would be how the Yang can help. Wear your shirt, talk to people, and be awesome and be you. As far as what's going on with the Big Island right now, go to yang2020.com and look at Mobilize to find events near you. Also, you can reach out to us at yanggangbigisland@gmail.com if you have any questions or if you have a suggestion for where we could have a phone banking party. There are only 6-ish days to February 3rd, so we need to phone bank. That's the main priority. I'm even doing it. I've got a couple videos if you want to check them out about that. Other than that, aloha, Big Island.